Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend of the channel, Mr. Matt, the Lumberjack Landlord. How you doing, buddy?
I'm excited to be here and talk about number 3 and something far less heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, episode number 2 today was a little bit heavy. If you don't know, Matt actually has Ukrainian lineage. It's where his family is from. So episode 2 got a little heavy. So we're just going to leave that one there. And in episode number 3, we're going to paint the picture of what I am calling the housing slowdown. I'm going to break it down probably by quarter. I'm going to give you, the audience, things to do right now to track your market, because I think the housing slowdown is coming. I do not think a housing crash is coming, but a slowdown is coming, and it will be hopefully good for all of us. So you ready? I'm going to outline what I see, and I want you to disagree, agree, ask questions. I want you to poke at this. You ready to go?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
All right. So we are in March, which is, if you look at the calendar, the end of Q1 of 2022. I believe through the month of March, and probably I will say month of April, my gut says the middle of May. So let's call it the 15th of May. We are still going to be seeing owner occupants race off the sidelines because they stopped shopping in Q4 of last year. And now with rates going up, they are suddenly extra motivated to not miss the bottom. So unfortunately, what this means is we still are going to have a market where days on market stay at record lows. And that's really what we have. Because again, folks, we don't have a supply problem. That is a great myth that I've hopefully popped by now. Supply still comes on the market. It just gets consumed faster. So it's a demand problem, not supply. So I think for the next, call it 60 days, 75 days, Matt, demand is up, not down, which is crazy to say, but that's kind of how I think the year begins. I'll stop there and see what you think.
I totally agree. I've seen more supply coming on, but it's coming off just as fast.
Yeah.
And now I'm actually seeing bad deals.
Yeah. It's like, it's that hyperactive, like, I got to do it. I got to do it. Trust me, as we said in episode 1, you don't have to do it.
I saw a duplex just get listed for $389. That is a 3-2 and currently rented at $1,900 all in.
Oh, wow.
$1,900 is their current total rent for the building, and they listed it for $389.
Okay. And did somebody
that deal
oh, it
sucks.
sucks. But did it go pending, or is it just a crazy price?
So it just went on yesterday. So it's not pending yet. But I'm looking at this and I'm just like, it's maybe not even worth 3.
Yeah.
I mean, and so if anybody, so you're seeing inventory come on, it's still coming on extremely horribly priced, but they're literally trying to take advantage and just go, well, so we're only $1,900 a month in rent.
Yeah.
Well, you can go up.
So they're betting on dumb money is what they're doing. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So as we roll out of May, again, May 15th is kind of the tail end of this. We're going to get into kind of May, June, July, August, where I believe typically are busy months. I believe that is where we're going to see more of what you just discussed. Because you got to remember, demand is not only the willingness to buy, but it's the ability to buy.
Yes.
Right. You can be someone who wants a Lamborghini, but if you can't write that check, you don't count as demand. So what I believe happens as we get into the summer months, generically speaking, is rates are significantly higher, which will eliminate demand. We have also entered an environment where the move-up buyer doesn't freaking move. They're like, I'm staying in my house. It's got a 2.75 30-year. I'll add a room before I move, right? We're going to have a whole decade of no or very little move-up buyers. It's going to be crazy and shock the world.
It is.
Shock the real estate world anyway. And what I think is going to happen is you're going to have mom and dad who think they have a duplex that rents for $1,900. You're going to have more examples of it should be $300. They're going to list it at $400 and it's going to sit. It's going to sit. So days on market's going to stay tight, relatively low till the summer. And then that is when days on market starts to tick up because demand falls off. Again, we do not have a supply problem. We have a demand problem. When rates shoot up, you put out stupid prices into into a market where everything is a bad deal, stuff will sit. There's only so much dumb money. And
Right.
once that's spent, it doesn't come back. And what's going to happen is days on market will go up. And then finally, your buy box, which maybe your buy box today has 12 or 15 or 8. By the summer, we're going to see that double. It would not shock me as we get to the end of the year if your buy box, if you're tracking a buy box today, your buy box could, go up 500%, whatever that is, quintuple or whatever it is.
Yeah, quintuple. Yeah.
All right, yay! If it goes up 500 or 600%, that's what I mean by housing slowdown. Now, as we get into the end of the year, housing transactions will be way off. Move up buyers don't move. Investors can't find deals.
Yep.
Then it will be, where are we at, right? Did the stock market take a haircut? Does the Fed need to reverse decisions? I don't know. But I think inventory is significantly higher by the end of the year. And oh, by the way, in many markets, no price drops. Maybe there'll be some like Boise or other markets where there's 5, 8, 9%. But most markets will still be up by the end of the year because of all the appreciation in the first half, right? This is a year, right? If you get 10% appreciation in the first 2 quarters and nothing in Q3, Q4, it's still 10% for the year.
Right. I think the other thing too is, you look at Boise and it's like inventory's up 45%, right? Because they had that horrible cold winter. It's still well under norms.
Yeah, exactly. It went from 4 to 6 listings or whatever it is. It sounds great when you talk about percentages, but 6 is still 200% below average, right? So math is really funny that way.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I look at it and it's like right now, I think there's 7 multis on in my market.
Yeah.
It's still nothing to choose from.
No, exactly.
Still nothing to choose from, but you're going to do a bad deal in one of those deals. And that's being not patient, and you're going to pay. You're going to pay for that.
You're going to pay. You're going to pay every month when you're like, ouch, because the opportunity cost, most of you don't have a huge stack. If you shoot your bullet on a deal that's average, you're out for 2 years. Don't do that.
You can overpay when you have Jamie Dimon money.
Yeah, exactly. If you want that thing,
okay, I'll take 2,000 homes off your hands. Cool. If you overpaid a little bit, whatever. Like, they're looking for that fixed return.
Yeah.
And they're buying with cash. You need to compare apples to apples. People should not be comparing themselves to, hedge funds and Wall Street. They're buying with cash.
Yeah.
You are not buying with cash. And so I see that there are average homes, 1,500 to 1,800 square feet in my area now, selling for $750 to $850.
Would they sell in 2019? Just curious, roughly.
5.
Oh, 50%. Wow.
5. Yep. 5. And that was still 3.25 a foot for brand new construction. So that was decent construction.
Sure.
But yeah, we're talking $500 a foot right now. And the worst part is that I'm talking to builders that are like, yeah, it usually takes me 4 to 5 months to build something out. Now it's taking me 9 months.
Dead days.
Everybody was getting crushed with lumber prices a year ago. Everyone was talking about it because it was $1,500 per thousand. Guess where it's back at again? It's $1,400 per thousand.
Oh,
why is no one talking about it again? And it's still going to create the same dead days, the lack of inventory. There are mills all over Canada that are shutting down, saying that they're going to produce 150 million less board feet in 2023 than they will in 2022. 150 million less board feet. That's a lot of less board feet.
Yeah.
That's something like, that's like 28 million studs is how big that number is. That's what we're talking about. So I would be very cautious in buying a new home. I would be very cautious because I think that it's going to be an unbelievably expensive endeavor and what are builders going to do? It's just, what do you do? Looking at my crystal ball a year and a half from now, because that's probably how long it's going to take them to finish that house.
Yeah.
If not a year. That scares me because what is the rate then? If I'm a borderline buyer at the 700 that we've agreed to, but it's now going to be an $800,000 house, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think buying a personal residence is a very hard thing to do right now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, homeowners in Q1, first time buyers, anybody looking to get their home, they're going to pay up today. There's nothing
Yes.
available. There's lots of people that didn't do anything in Q4 that want to do it now. A lot of people want to do it now because of the summers. It's a tough quarter, but if you're an investor, do the work, watch your buy
Yes.
box, good or great deals only. Good news long-term buying existing homes is all this inflation in raw materials. Homes and real estate are a collection of raw material.
They are.
And, it will be pulled up by inflation. So as we kind of get to the end of the year, for me, the real estate market's not going to go negative, not a crash. It has to slow down. Rents have to slow down.
Yeah.
But don't forget, the real estate market could be very different next year.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just assume the 30 years, 6%. It's going to be slower. It's going to be slower. Right?
I mean, I think it gets into the fives. Like I said, I think by the end of the year, I think we're touching 5.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting, I mean, it's always a great time to buy a great deal. But when you're, I saw a house in our neighborhood sell for probably 30% more than what it was listed for 18 months ago.
Wow.
Nuts. Like the fact that they got that, my agent called me and he goes, let's put your house in the market. And I go, where am I going to go?
Yeah, exactly. You got another one of these somewhere?
I was like, where the hell am I going to go? So yeah, I just think that people need to do the homework. They need to really be watching their buyer box. From an investment perspective, nothing changes.
Correct.
From an investment perspective. From a personal perspective, like buying your own personal home, man, house hack. You're living in an apartment now. House hack.
Yeah.
Buy that house with 30-year fixed rate debt. Oh, opportunities are endless at that point.
There you go. Well, folks, this has been a fun conversation. The housing slowdown is coming. All you have to do today, your buy box, how many units are available, write it down, date it, and then track it every week or month, because as we get out of past May, you should see that number rise. Always do a great deal. Always do a good or great deal, but you've got to do the work, find average. Matt, how can people find you?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube and Lumberjack Landlord on Instagram.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.